Pinagsanib Puwersa. Ang mga balita at impormasyon na magmumula sa DWIZ 882 Manila ay maririnig na sa mga himpilan ng RPN sa iba't ibang mga lalawigan. DZRL Bataan, DZTG Tuguegarao, DZBS Baguio, DZKI Iriga, DYKB Bacolod, DYKC Cebu, DXKS Surigao, DXKD Dipolo, DXKO Cagayan de Oro, DXKT Davao, DXKP Pagadian, DXXX Zamboanga, DXDX General Santos, DWIZ 882 Manila at RPN Provincial Stations. Mas pinalawak, mas pinalakas.
RPN Radio Philippines Network, Radyo Ronda, DZBS Baguio, member kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas.
Ayasak Di Kabenguetan. Programa binukel iti Department of Education, Division of Benguet, tapno agtultuloy nga maipaayan ti adal, dagiti patpatgen ken dungdungwen tayo nga anak, nga agbasbasa, uray ita agdama a pandemya. Na isang sangayan na programa iti radyo, nga pakaitampukan iti napateg nga ad-adal. Ad-adal nga mainaig iti panagbasa ti anak tayo, ama ibinsa-binsa, babaen iti panangipalpalawag, dagiti nasisirib ken nasasariri nga manursuro. Isuda, dagiti mamaestra ken mamaestro tayo, iti DEP-ED Benguet, nga inkay makadkadwa iti tangatang. Isagsagot kada kayo iti Department of Education, Division of Benguet, ken daytoy nga istasyon. Ayasak Di Kabenguetan.
Good day, Benguet learners. This is your school on the air. In today's session, we will focus our discussions on how we write sentences describing one's drawing about stories or poems listened to. I'm your teacher, Francis, hoping that you're all safe and sound at home and eager to listen to what we will be discussing today. After the discussion, you are expected to master the learning competency and to achieve this learning objective, that is, to write sentences describing one's drawing about stories or poems listened to. Let's get started. First, may I request the parents or guardians to make sure that your child is in a comfortable place and position to learn. Make sure that you have with you the module, activity sheets, and other materials necessary for your child's learning. It is also advised that you monitor your child in listening. You guide and help them in their process of understanding our lesson. Let's have a short review of our lesson. We say that a sentence expresses a complete thought. It begins with a capital letter. It ends with a period, a question mark, or an exclamation point. To describe one's drawing, you must consider the following. The first one is number, just like 1, 2, or 3. And to come up with a description or a sentence, we say, I have 2 brothers. The second consideration is the size. Will it be small? Will it be tall? And so, to come up with a sentence or a description, we say, the girl is small. The third consideration is the shapes. Will it be round or will it be long? And to come up with a description, we say, the ball is round. Number 4 consideration, we have the age. Is it old? Is it new? And as a description, we say, my shoes is new. The number 5 consideration is the color. Is it red? Is it blue? Is it orange? Is it white? And so to come up with a sentence or a description, we say, the sky is colored blue. We have the number 6 consideration. It's the opinion. Is it pretty? Is it good? And so we say, as a sentence or a description, I think the color used in painting is good. In addition, you must look at the characters and the place because they will lead you in getting the correct idea. I will be reading a short story entitled Sampaguita and Rose by Almar S. Ebrano. You please listen carefully, and then I will be asking some questions.
Good morning, Benguet learners. This is your School on the Air. In today's session, we will be discussing about epic from the module entitled Traversing the Epic World. I'm your teacher, Chusda Lucio, hoping that you are ready and eager to listen to our topic today. After the discussion, you are expected to master the desired learning competency and to achieve the following learning objectives. Number 1. Share prior knowledge about a topic. Number 2. Identify the distinguishing traits of an epic hero. Number 3. Deduce the meaning of words through a crossword puzzle. And number 4. Relate the text read to reality. Before we start, I want everyone to sit comfortably and listen carefully. Bring out also your module to serve as your guide as we discuss the lesson. Let's get started. Are you familiar with the biblical story, David and Goliath? Why were the Israelites, including their king Saul, afraid of Goliath? That's right. All men in Israel were afraid of the giant Goliath because he had been challenging them for a fight. It was only the young man named David who was courageous enough to accept the challenge. How did he defeat Goliath? Yes, David hurled a stone using his sling and hit Goliath in the center of his forehead. When Goliath fell on his face to the ground, David killed him. David gained fame because of his heroic deeds. He became the anointed king. Question: what is the message of this story? Very good. It is a lesson about faith, courage, and overcoming what seems impossible. Are the characteristics of a biblical hero the same with an epic hero? Let us find out as we proceed with our discussions. Aside from David and Goliath, what were the two epics that you discussed in grade 8? Of course, you have the Ramayana and Mahabharata of India, which are classified as Afro-Asian literature. Now that you are in grade 9, you will be focusing on the Anglo-American literature or British American literature. Let us start by tracing the beginnings of early English literature. Great Britain has been invaded and settled many times, first by ancient people called Iberians, then by the Celts, by the Romans, by the Germanic tribes, by the Vikings, and by the Normans. But the development of early English literature can be traced during the 600-year Anglo-Saxon period of Britain, from the mid-5th century to the Norman conquest of 1066. In the middle of the 5th century, the Anglo-Saxons, or the Germanic tribes composed of the
Hello, how are you? I hope you have a great day today. My name is Braces Lorenzo, your teacher for Bread and Pastry Production NC2. Today, you will be learning, decorate and present pie and pastry products. You will be learning how to decorate and present your product in accordance with the standard recipes and or enterprise standards and customer preferences. You are encouraged to actively engage yourself in exploring the module, read the topic discussions, and do the learning activities, especially the learning performances, to enhance your skill. This is the module for Bread and Pastry Production NC2 for grade 11 and 12. Decorate and present pie and pastry product. After the lesson, you are expected to master the desired learning competency and to achieve the following. 1. Fill and decorate pastry products were required and appropriate in accordance with standard recipes and or enterprise standards and customer preferences. 2. Finish pastry products according to desired product characteristics. And 3. Present baked pastry products according to established standards and procedures. Before moving any further, kindly answer your pretest under what I know. In the previous module, you have learned about fillings, coatings, icing, and glazes used in pie and pastry products. Take this test as your review. Matching type. Match column A to B on variety of fillings in coating, icing, glazes, and decorations for pastry products. Select the best letter of your answer. Take a look with this picture of pastry product, then describe how it is presented. That's right, the picture of the pastry is decorated and presented attractively with the use of accompaniment and garnish. Pies and pastries, like cakes, are delightful to eat, especially when they are baked properly and attractively served. They are also popular as desserts. can be served as main dishes like meat and poultry pastries. Decorating is not limited just to bread, cakes, and cookies, but pastry, as well as in pies and tarts, can be decorated as well. These are accompaniments used in presenting pie and pastry and rules in garnishing finished product. Accompaniments, garnishes, and decorations for pastries. 1. Syrup. Flavored simple syrup is used to moisten some pastries. Flavorings may be extracts like vanilla, liqueurs like rum. Add flavorings after the syrup has cooled, because flavor may be lost if they are added to hot syrup. Syrups may also be flavored by boiling them with lemon or orange rim. 2. Pastry cream. Contains starch thickeners as well as eggs, resulting in a much thicker and more stable product. It is used as pastry fillings for cream pies and as pudding. With additional liquid, it is used as custard sauce. 3. Custards. It consists of milk, sugar, eggs, and flavorings. Whole eggs are used for greater thickening power, used as pie fillings and as a dessert by itself. 4. Nut garnish. Nuts in every shape and size. Nuts are the typical choice for garnishing a number of ice cream cups. Rules for garnishing pastry products. 1. Garnishes should be edible. 2. Simplicity is beauty, and therefore, garnishes should appear natural, fresh and dainty, never overworked or overdone. 3. A few small groups of garnish are often more attractive than a continuous decorative scheme. 4. Colors should be harmonized, never clash. Contrasting colors usually produce an artistic picture. Artificial coloring should be kept to the minimum. 5.
Hello! Good day, my dear math learner. Parents and guardians, welcome to our mathematics class. My name is Carlin M. Bakasan. I will be your teacher today. We will learn another lesson in math. Let's start. Do you have your module with you? Are you with your parents and guardians? This module talks about giving the place value of a 3-digit number. After the lesson, you are expected to master the competency and attain the following objectives. Give the place value of a 3-digit number. Finds the value of a digit in a 3-digit number. But before you will start, you must answer the pretest or what I know to determine the level of your knowledge about the lesson. Take your time in reading and follow the instructions written in this module. It is a 5-item test and a multiple choice. After answering the pretest, check your answer found at the last page of your module. If you got 5/5, you are very good. But you are encouraged to continue answering the module for you to master the lesson. If you got 4 and below, you must answer all the activities and assessments given. To our parents and guardians, please help our math learner so that our learner can answer all correctly the activities and assessments given. This video will help you understand better. Last time, You learn about grouping objects in ones, tens, and hundreds. Group the numbers in ones, tens, and hundreds. How many hundreds are there in number 321? Yes, there are 3 hundreds. How many tens? Correct. There are 2 tens. How many ones? Yes, there are 1 ones. Next number, 456. How many hundreds, tens, and ones? Very good. 4 hundreds, 5 tens, and 6 ones. Next number, 789. How many hundreds, tens, and ones? Very good. There are 7 hundreds, 8 tens, and 9 ones. Next number, 912. How many hundreds, tens, and ones? Good job. There are 9 hundreds, 1 tens, and 2 ones. Next number, 845. How many hundreds, tens, and ones? Good job. 8 hundreds, 4 tens, and 5 ones. Very good, my child. Let us move on to our new lesson today. This is Ken. Last summer, Ken helped his father gather bananas. After gathering, he counted all the bananas. There were 254 big bananas all in all. How many digits is 254?
Good day to you again, dear grade 7 learner. I hope you're ready for another lesson in mathematics. I am Teacher Phoebe, and I will be teaching you about problem solving regarding sets. This is based on the second competency in the most essential learning competencies guide under grade 7 mathematics. So, what shall you learn today? For this second lesson, you will be using Module 4 entitled Problem Solving Involving Sets. Module 4 will guide you to solve worded problems that involve sets using Venn diagrams and the different set operations. As much as possible, read and work on these modules independently. But if you find some parts difficult, there's always people beside you to help you. They may not know all the answers, but with patience and perseverance, at least they can help you understand better. After each activity, note down your scores on the score sheet shown on How Well Did I Do? Don't forget your reflection about the module and remind your guardians to write on it too. The What I Know part contains a pre-assessment of your knowledge about this lesson. This part will check if you have any knowledge about the lesson. Try to answer the 15 items, then see if you got the correct answers according to the answer key on page 33. Take note, faking your answer is not the right way to learn, so be honest. If you got 15 items correctly, this means you know this topic, but you are still highly encouraged to go through the modules. If you got less than 15 correct answers, don't worry, you can improve, especially as you learn the lesson in this module. Now, before you go through the rest of this video module, I am assuming that you've already done this part. If you did not, then you should do that first before we continue. Done? Then let's proceed. Let's review some things that you've learned in the previous module on Venn diagramming. What is the Venn diagram? The Venn diagram consists of two circles enclosed in a rectangle that describes the relationship between sets. How will we know what relationship is described by the Venn diagram? Usually, that is indicated by the shaded parts in the diagram. That is where you're going to see and list the elements that result from the set operation or the relationship. Let's practice identifying the correct symbols for the relationships described by some of the Venn diagrams in your activity on page 8. First, what is the relationship or set operation that is described by the shaded part in the Venn diagram in number 1? That's right! Set A is a subset of the universal set. Take note of the correct symbol. Next, what relationship or set operation is described by the shaded part in the Venn diagram in number 3? Correct. We read that as the intersection of sets A and B, or set A intersects with set B. What relationship or set operation is described by the shaded part in the Venn diagram in number 5? Very good. It is the difference of B and A, or B minus A. Continue with the rest of the activity in what's in on your own. This activity should help you in drawing the Venn diagram to show the relationships between the sets in your word problems. Let's move on, shall we? We now start the lesson on problem solving of sets with a situation. Imagine yourself as Mark in Mark's school. At the beginning of the school year, learners in the higher years encourage their school.
Hi! Magandang buhay sa inyo! Sana kayo ay masaya sa araw na ito. Dahil tayo ay mag-aaral ng isa na namang magandang aralin. Andito ako ulit. Ako si Teacher Emily na magsisilbing guro ninyo sa edukasyong pangkalusugan sa ikalawang baitang para sa ikalawang linggo. Maupo ng maayos at makinig sa ating talakayan. Nasa loob man kayo ng inyong bahay, sisikaping nating gawing makabuluhan ang iyong oras. Napag-aralan natin sa nakaraang aralin na ang bawat bata ay may karapatan sa wastong nutrisyon sa katawan upang siya'y lumaking malakas at malusog. Ang ating aralin sa araw na ito ay ating tatalakayin ang balansing pagkain gamit ang food pyramid bilang gabay para malaman ang tamang sukat at tamang uri ng pagkain na dapat ikonsumo sa araw-araw. Samahan mo akong basahin ang tula na aking ipapakita. Ang pamagat ng tula ay ang food pyramid. Ang food pyramid ay mahalaga sa mga batang laging mahina. Nagsisilbi itong ating gabay para balanse ang pagkain ibinibigay. May 3 pangkat ang pagkain. Sa food pyramid ating mapapansin. Ito ang go, grow, at glow. Mga pangkat ng pagkain na kapagpapatalino. Sa ating tula, ano ang nagsisilbing gabay para makamit natin ang balanseng pagkain? Ang sagot, ito ang food pyramid. Ano ang tatlong pangkat ng pagkain na binanggit sa ating tula? Ito ang pangkat ng go, grow, at glow. Ipagpatuloy nating pag-usapan kung ano ang food pyramid. Ang food pyramid ay isang modelo na nilikha at dinisenyo upang gawing mas madali, malusog at tama ang inihahandang pagkain ng mag-anak sa araw-araw. Makikita sa food pyramid ang sumusunod. Sa unang level o istante ng food pyramid, makikita ang larawan ng mga inumin, gaya ng tubig at katas ng prutas. Ipinaaalala rin nito na tayo dapat ay uminom ng 6 hanggang 8 basong tubig araw-araw. Sa ikalawang level ng food pyramid, makikita ang Go Foods. Ito ang pangkat ng pagkaing carbohydrates. Nasa larawan ang mga halimbawa gaya ng kanin, tinapay, at noodles. Ang Go Foods naman ang nagbibigay ng lakas sa iyong katawan. 4 hanggang bahagi o servings ang kailangan ng iyong katawan. Huwag mo nang sobrahan. Sa ikatlong level ng food pyramid ay ang Glow Foods. Ito ang pangkat ng gulay at prutas na nagbibigay ng bitamina at mineral sa iyong katawan. 1/3 to 1/2 na bahagi o servings ang dapat mong kainin sa isang kainan. Tingnan ang mga halimbawa. Ito ang gulay at prutas. Kung sa prutas naman, isang katamtamang prutas o di kaya ay isang slice lang kung malaki yung prutas katulad ng pinya.
Good day again. How are you? I am Irene Libunaw again, your teacher in MAPE Health 10. How are you? Were you able to enjoy the last lesson we talked regarding consumer health? The criteria and guidelines in the purchase of goods and services? I hope so. Let's have more. On this lesson, we are going to give emphasis on the different various forms of health service providers and healthcare plans, and for you to select health professionals, specialists, and healthcare services wisely. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to discuss the various forms of health services providers and healthcare plans. Another one, you are going to select health professionals, specialists, and healthcare services wisely. But before we go further, let's try to take a look at the different pictures. Would you be able to identify them? What health services these are? And who conducts it? Let's try. Good luck and enjoy. I know you can do it. It's as easy as eating fried chicken. If your answer is geriatrician, you're absolutely correct. If your answer is cardiologist, you are absolutely correct. Okay, let's proceed with the lesson. So there are different healthcare services offered in the country. So first one, we have their health professionals. So health professionals are individuals who are licensed to practice medicine and other allied health programs. An example of health professional is a physician, such as cardiologist, neurologist, and more. Anyway, as you further go with your module, you will be learning them one by one, and you would be able to identify their area of specialization.
Good morning. I am Mrs. Honoria Cayapa. I will be your teacher in bread and pastry production in C2. This week, you will be learning how to prepare and use fillings for cakes. You are encouraged to actively engage yourself in exploring the module. Read the topic, discussions, and do the learning activities provided. This is your module in bread and pastry in C2 entitled Prepare and Use Fillings for Cakes. This cover page tells you about some fruits which can be processed as fillings for sandwiches and cakes. Some pictures of possible fillings and samples of applying fillings, coatings or sidings, and frostings or icing are shown. After the lesson, you are expected to master the desired learning competency and to achieve the following learning objectives. First, prepare and select the fillings in accordance with the required consistency and appropriate flavors. Second one, select coatings and sidings according to the product characteristics and required recipe specification. For the third one, fill and assemble slice or layer sponges and cakes according to standard recipe specifications, enterprise practice, and customer preference. Before we proceed, let us determine what you already know about preparing and using filling by answering the pretest. You are to read and analyze the statement carefully, choose the best answer, and write the letter only in your activity notebook. Are you done? Very good. What kinds of jams, jelly, or preserves did you taste? Very good. What fruits are they made of? Excellent. Please name some fruits found in your backyard and tell the processing possibilities. Under the local fruits, you write the names of the fruits and the possible processing of each fruit, whether it is jam, jelly, or preserve. Very good. It shows that you know the fruits in your locality. Label the cake where some frosting and coating, filling, and topping is applied. And then after that, you enumerate the materials used in filling and icing cakes. Cakes with fillings always seem to add a little extra to the treat. While there is a whole range of cake filling recipes to choose from, it is important that the type of filling you use is stable enough. So we have the types of fillings. Custard is a smooth, creamy type of filling similar to pudding. The custard is a cooked filling containing cornstarch, flour, and egg yolks. Any filling that contains cornstarch or flour must be brought to a boil slowly to prevent scorching. For fruits, there are many fruits that can be cooked into a filling for cakes that will provide the cake with an extra special flavor. Some of the common fruits used are strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, peaches, apricots, and rhubarb. For jelly jams or an easy preserve can be used to add fruit-flavored filling to a cake. You can add flavor to the cake without any additional preparation. When using jelly filling on a layer cake, use a piping of frosting around the edge of the layer to keep the jelly, jam, or preserves confined, and then select your favorite flavor and spread it on the layer inside the piped frosting. Whipped cream provides a light, fluffy filling with a delicate flavor. Whipped creams are sometimes stabilized by adding gelatin to make them hold up better. A cake with whipped cream filling should be refrigerated and served the same day as it is made. Glazes and syrups.
Hello there! How have you been? Are you excited to learn new things today? It's a beautiful day indeed. I am Teacher Christine, and I will be your facilitator. So come on, let's learn and have fun. Before we start with the lesson, may I remind you to take the pretest or the what I know part to determine the level of your knowledge in this module. Please be guided with instructions written in this self-learning module. To our parents and guardians, please assist your child to facilitate understanding. So before proceeding to the self-learning module, I encourage you to watch this instructional video. In this module developed by Ma'am Flordeline C. Ventura, it focuses on the materials that float and sink. It talks on the properties of materials around us. It also tells that some materials float and others sink. For you to attain the learning objectives of this module, you must do the following. First, take your time reading the activities carefully. Second, read and follow the instructions or the directions in all the activities. Third, take all the lessons or activities for 5 days. Fourth, answer all the tests and exercises or activities given. You can use your activity notebook in answering the activities and tests. Then, submit your activity notebook after finishing the module. And the fifth one, be sure to go over the module again as to be sure that you did not skip answering any of the activities. As a review on the first module, you learned about the materials that absorb water. Now, let us see if you can recall some of these materials. What are these materials that absorb water? These are the blanket, the sponge, cotton balls, and the paper bag. How about those that does not absorb water? These are the rubber ball, popsicle stick, lunch box, plastic bottle, pebbles, and the raincoat. After knowing the characteristics of materials that absorb water, now let's learn about the characteristics of materials that float and sink. Let us define and understand first some words that you may encounter to help you better understand this lesson. So in this illustration, float means to stay on top of the water, and sink means to fall to the bottom of the water. So, what causes an object or materials to float or to sink? I want you to watch this short video clip so as to figure out an answer. So let's go! From the video watched, what were the materials that have floated? Can you identify them? Yes, these were the plastic block,
Great morning, grade 7 learners. How are you today? Were you able to complete your module 1? That is doing scientific investigation. Today, we shall start with our second module. But before that, let me remind you once more that all your activity answers shall be placed in one science ADM notebook. It shall be submitted to your science teacher after you have placed all your answers there. We shall now start with our second module, that is on elements and compounds. So please sit back and relax. The second learning module is anchored with learning competency number 5. This is all about recognizing that substances are classified into elements and compounds. This learning module shall be answered for 2 weeks according to our most essential learning competency guide. This is for quarter 1, week 2, and 3. You are therefore expected to answer the whole module for 10 days. Yes, 10 days. So in 10 days, you shall be guided by the following 3 objectives. Our specific objectives are the following. You're going to name the elements and compounds present in our drinks or food. You're going to investigate elements and compounds present in some local products. Then you will complete charts or concept maps to clarify the key concepts gained. Again, write your answers in your ADM notebook, which you may check later after you have completed the module. Now, are you ready to start our lesson? Very good. After all your independent learning through this module, you will surely be led to become a responsible learner. Again, sit back comfortably and let's start the activity. Do you see some of these materials around you? Yes. Thousands of different materials. Think of the matter that you don't see right now, but they are greatly affecting us. Do we have some materials like that? Very good. We have air. We breathe in air. It gives us life. These are still composed of elements. Now, what are elements and compounds? Let us examine the concept map that will be presented. Matter, as we all know, refers to all things around. This is then divided into 2 groups, the pure substance and the mixtures. We shall focus with pure substance, which is again divided into elements and compounds. The elements, as we know, and as you have learned from your grade 6, are composed of only 1 atom, while that of a compound is a combination of 2 or more elements. Now let's proceed to what's in. This is an activity for you to recall what are the elements and compounds that you have taken up when you were in grade 6. The task prepared for you in this section is a review of the useful mixtures such as drinks, food, and herbal medicines from your grade 6 lessons. You will also identify the elements and compounds transported through our body. After going through this activity, a short concept check
Magandang araw, ako ang iyong guro, Binibining Maze, na gagabay sa inyong pag-aaral ngayon. Bago tayo magsimula, ihanda ang iyong panulat, Crayola at ang module na may pamagat na pagpapahalaga sa natatanging kakayahan ni Florence B. Bassett. Sa module na ito, matututunan natin ang pagpapahalaga sa natatanging kakayahan ng may saya o tuwa. May mga gawain din tayong dapat sagutin na makakatulong sa pagpapahalaga ng kakayahang taglay natin. Sa subukin na gawain, gumuhit ng pulang tatsulok kung ang kakayahan ay taglay na, at dilaw na tatsulok kung hindi pa. Ngayon ay kayo naman ang sasagot sa inyong module. Una, pag-aawit. Pangalawa, pagsasayaw. Pangatlo, paglalaro ng dama. Pang-apat, pakikipagtalastasan. Ikalima, paglangoy. Balik-aralan ang mga natatanging kakayahan. Iguhit ang masayang mukha sa mga sumusunod na salita kung ito ay natatanging kakayahan o talento at malungkot na mukha kung hindi. Una, pagkanta. Pangalawa, pagsira ng aklat. Pangatlo, paglalaba. Pang-apat, paglalangoy. At 5, pagguhit. Sa ating tuklasin, sa nakaraang aralin ay malalaman mo na ikaw ay may natatanging kakayahan. Ngayon ay tutulungan ka ng araling ito upang mapaunlad ang iyong talento. Babasahin natin ang kwento na may pamagat na ang paligsahan. Pagkatapos, sagutin natin ang mga tanong tungkol dito. Ang paligsahan. Nagkaroon ng palatuntunan nitong buwan ng Hunyo para sa Barangay Nutrition Month. At naghanda ang mga mag-aaral ng paaralang gaswiling na ipamamalas ang kanilang mga kakayahan. Sila'y nagtanghal ng iba't ibang talento tulad ng pagsayaw, pag-awit, pagguhit at pagtugtog ng gitara. Sumayaw si Erin, umawit si Kurt, habang tumutugtog ng gitara si Carlo. Sina Hallie at Lester sa pagguhit, sina Anderson at Maricar naman ang gumagawa ng poster para sa palatuntunan. Masaya nilang ipinakita ang kanilang kakayahan. Natapos ang palatuntunan ng may ngiti at tuwa dahil ang mga batang nakilahok ay naibahagi nila ang kanilang kakayahan. Mula sa nabasa nating kwento, sagutin natin ang mga tanong na ito. Una, sino-sino ang mga tauhan sa binasang kwento? Pangalawa, ano-ano ang gusto nilang salihan? Pangatlo, bakit nais nilang sumali sa mga paligsahan? Pang-apat, ano ang gusto nilang makamit sa pagsali sa paligsahan? Ikalima, paano kaya nila pinapaunlad ang kanilang kakayahan? Sa suriin, tingnan ang mga larawan. Sino-sino ang mga nasa larawan? Ano-ano kaya ang kanilang mga kakayahan o talento? Ano kaya ang dulot ng pagbabahagi ng kanilang kakayahan o talento? Paano nila pinapahalagahan ang saya o tuwang dulot nito? Sa pagyamanin gawain 1, kulayan ng pula ang kahon sa tabi ng mga larawan kung magpapakita ito ng pagpapaunlad sa kakayahan at berde kung hindi. Sa pagtatasa 1, basahin ang mga sumusunod na sitwasyon at pumili sa oo o hindi kung ito ba ay nararapat mong gawin. Sa pagyamanin gawain 2, gumuhit ng 2 kakayahan ng mga batang nabanggit sa kwento. Iguhit ito sa inyong kwaderno. Pagtatasa 2, iguhit ang masayang mukha kung tama ang isinasaad ng pangungusap at malungkot na mukha kung mali. Sa isa-isip na gawain, ano ang iyong nararamdaman habang nagsasanay ka ng iyong kakayahan? May nais ka pa bang paunlarin sa mga ito? Pumili sa kahon at punan ang mga blanko ng tamang sagot. Sa isagawa, basahin ang mga sumusunod na sitwasyon at isulat kung ano ang nararapat mong gawin.
Magandang umaga, ako si Ma'am Juliet M. Basilan, ang iyong guro sa Araling Panlipunan 10, mga kontemporaryong issue sa junior high. Ang module na ito ay layuning matamo mo bilang mag-aaral ang mga sumusunod. Una, nauunawaan ang mga epekto ng mga suliraning pangkapaligiran ng Pilipinas. Kalawa, nakikilala ang mga epekto ng mga suliraning pangkapaligiran ng Pilipinas. At ikatlo, na isa sa buhay ang mga nauunawaan sa mga epekto ng mga suliraning pangkapaligiran ng Pilipinas. Handa ka bang makinig? Bago natin simulan, makikita mo sa iyong module sa bahaging subukin na may 15 tanong na susubok sa iyong kaalaman tungkol sa bagong aralin na mga epekto ng mga suliraning pangkapaligiran ng Pilipinas. Sagutin mo ito sa sagutang papel ng may katapatan. Pag natapos ay iwasto ang iyong sagot at isangguni sa susing sagot na nasa huling pahina. Ngayon, magkakaroon muna tayo ng maikling gawain na tumatalakay sa DNR Mines in Geosciences Bureau Landslide Susceptibility Map, kung saan ipinapaliwanag nito ang kasalukuyang sitwasyon ng mga lupain sa bayan natin, lalong-lalo na sa Mankayan, Benguet. Bago natin simulan ang bagong aralin, epekto ng mga suliraning pangkapaligiran ng Pilipinas. Sa mapa, makikita natin ang sa legend ng DNR Mines in Geosciences Bureau Landslide Susceptibility Map. Ano ang susceptibility? Kung ang sagot mo ay tumutukoy sa mga vulnerable na mga lugar sa pagguho at landslide, tama. Ano ang sinasabi ng mga kulay na pula, berde at dilaw sa susceptibility map? Ang kulay pula ay high susceptibility to landslide. Ang berde ay moderate susceptibility to landslide. At ang dilaw ay low susceptibility to landslide. Kung ang sagot mo ay ang mga ito, ikaw ay tama. Ibig sabihin, karamihan sa lupain ng ating lalawigan ay highly susceptible to landslide o madaling gumuho ang mga lupain at ang bayan natin ay kabilang dito. Tingnan natin ang Barangay Suyok at Taneg sa Mankayan, Benguet. Ano ang sinasabi ng legend? Ang Barangay Suyok at Taneg ay sakop ng high at low landslide susceptibility. Tama kung ito ang iyong sagot. Ang mga lupain sa lugar na ito ay susceptible sa pagguho at landslide. Ang mga lupain kung saan nakatayo ang mga kabahayan at paaralan ay susceptible sa pagguho at landslide, kaya kailangan ang bayong pag-iingat. Tingnan natin ang Barangay Taneg, Mankayan, Benguet at Barangay Suyok, Mankayan, Benguet. Sila ay halimbawa ng mga lugar dito sa Pilipinas na nanganganib palagi ang kabuhayan at ilang buhay ng mga taong nakatira dito tuwing may bagyo o bapang sakuna ay nasira. Halos karamihan sa mga mabundok na lugar dito sa ating bansa ay may ganitong nakaambang panganib sa tuwing may darating na bagyo o bapang sakuna. Bilang mga mamamayan, napakahalaga ang pagkakaroon natin ng wastong kaalaman sa ating kapaligiran dahil ito ay makapagliligtas sa atin sa anumang kapahamakan. Binabati kita sa iyong aktibong partisipasyon. Ngayon, kunin mo ang iyong module at sagutin ang mga gawaing naihanda. Ito ay 3 araw mong gawain. Kung may bahaging hindi mo maintindihan, maaari mong ulitin ang video. Pwede kang gabayan ng iyong tatay, nanay, kuya, ate o kasama sa bahay. Andito rin ako na nakaantabay kung mayroon kang mga katanungan. Pagkatapos mong sagutin ang bawat gawain, ay iwasto mo ang iyong sagot. Isangguni ito sa susing sagot na nasa huling pahina. Inaasahan ko na matatapos mo ang iyong module sa
Ayasak Di Kabenguetan. Programa abinukel iti Department of Education, Division of Benguet, tapno agtultuloy nga maipaayan ti adal, dagiti patpatgen ken dungdungwen tayo nga anak, nga agbasbasa, uray ita agdama a pandemya. Na isang sangaya na programa iti radyo, nga pakaitampukan iti napateg nga ad-adal. Ad-adal nga mainaig iti panagbasa ti anak tayo, ama ibinsa-binsa, babaen iti panangipalpalawag, dagiti nasisirib ken nasasariri nga manursuro. Isuda, dagiti mamaestra ken mamaestro tayo, iti DEP-ED Benguet, nga inkay makadkadwa iti tangatang. Isagsagot kada kayo iti Department of Education, Division of Benguet, ken daytoy nga istasyon. Ayasak Di Kabenguetan.
RPN Radio Philippines Network, Radyo Ronda, DZBS Baguio, member kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas.
Anumang paglalakbay ng Pilipino, sasabayan ng Petron. Ang mga naglalakbay para makausad sa buhay, may kasabay sa daan. Ang mga naglalakbay ng malayuan, may kasabay sa patagalan. Para sa inyo, Petron XCS, our excellent cleaning system na nagbibigay ng better engine protection, improved combustion, and more mileage. Kaya bawat patak, maaasahan sa paglalakbay ng Pilipino. Petron XCS, kasabay sa lakbay. Anumang paglalakbay ng Pilipino, sasabayan ng Petron. Ang mga naglalakbay para makausad sa buhay, may kasabay sa daan. Ang mga naglalakbay ng malayuan, may kasabay sa patagalan. Para sa inyo, Petron XCS, our excellent cleaning system na nagbibigay ng better engine protection, improved combustion, and more mileage. Kaya bawat patak, maaasahan sa paglalakbay ng Pilipino. Petron XCS, kasabay sa lakbay.
Blended learning is a way of teaching that combines.
Sa ilalim ng New Normal, naglatag ang Department of Education ng mga paraan para may pagpatuloy pa rin ng kabataan ang kanilang pag-aaral kahit nasa loob ng tahanan.
We now call it blended learning. One, there will be printed material. And the second approach, online learning platform. Those homes which do not necessarily have connectivity may have television and radio-based instruction.
Dahil kaligtasan at kalusugan pa rin ang una.
With blended learning,
there will be no face-to-face classes and sessions until we are assured of the safety of our children and our teachers.
Edukasyon na hindi pababayaan habang COVID-19 ay patuloy na nilalabanan.
With blended learning,
we are offering opportunities for children to continue their studies and their learnings.
A message from PCOO, KBP, and this station.
RPN Radio Philippines Network, Radyo Ronda, DZBS Baguio, member kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas.